One of the biggest challenges that we all face is getting our clients to do what we want them to do in the way that we want them to do it when we want it done. And the reason I think that happens largely is because our clients are in control of the relationship. And what we need to do is to take that control back. Somebody has to be in control of the relationship. Somebody has to be in control. And if you're not, the client will be. The way that we start that relationship is the way that we assume control as well. So there's lots of things that we can do around that. And one of the analogies I use to explain this is with children. So in a child-parent relationship, one of them is in control. And for me, as a parent, I want to be the person in control because it's dangerous to allow my children to be in control because they don't have as much worldly knowledge as me and they may choose to do things that's not right. If I said to my children, what time would you like to go to bed? You choose that. It will be never. We never want to go to sleep. Okay, cool. What would you like to eat? Crap. Just feed me crap continually. But what I need to be as the responsible parent is the person that says, no, we're not going to do that because that is not in your interest. I'm going to assume control. And it amazes me how many parents hand control to the child and don't even realize they're doing it. A really good example is, and you'll have seen it, you may have even done it yourself, is the parent will say to the child, if you do that again, you go into bed. Then the child does it again. I said, if you do that again, you go to bed. Then the child does it again. And then the parent grabs and says, right, you come into bed. And then the child kicks off, no, I'm not going to bed. No, I'll stop. Okay, well, sit there and eat your dinner then. And I just used to watch this situation play out with my friends. And I think, what are you doing? You're in control of this situation. So when my wife and I, my first child was my stepdaughter. And my wife and I agreed that if we said something, we were going to stand by it. If you do that again, you go into bed. And she did it again, she's going to bed. And I remember Lucy gripping onto the door frame with her fingers and we're like, you are going to bed. And it breaks your heart. It's upsetting to see your child in distress. You don't want to cause that distress, but if you don't, you're not being fair to the child. You're not helping them out at all because they need to trust you. And they need to trust you even when you're telling them to do something that they don't want to do, they still have to trust you. You gain trust in the way that you reprimand a child. So they go to bed the next night, you do that again, you go to bed, they know exactly what they need to do now, not to go to bed. But then when you say to them, hey, we're doing something, we're going to the beach this weekend or whatever, they also know that they can rely on you for that. So we need to be the parent in control because if you're not in control, I promise you the child will be in control. And at that point, you've got complete anarchy. And it's in the interest of our relationship and it's in the interest of you for me to behave this way with you because I love you, because this is the key thing. I love you and I'm acting out of love, even if that's difficult. But what a lot of people do is they will act out of fear of losing their child's love. That's ultimately I did it because they were crying. No, you didn't. You did it because you're afraid they're not going to love you anymore. But if you really love them, you will dig in. And it's the same with our clients. We will do things and we will convince ourselves that we're acting out of their interest, we're acting out of love or of kindness or whatever, and we're not. We're acting out of fear. We're acting out of fear that client will turn and leave us. And so we just need to be self-aware of why we're doing certain things, why we're behaving in a certain way, why you allow that client to continually not bring that information in the way that you want it. And what are you going to do? Because at that point, that client is in control.